Okay, welcome to this first edition of the Hit the Bar show with our expert panels who give their completely unfiltered football opinions. I'm Mac and I'm your host, and I have the unenviable task today of keeping control of these bunch of guys who are all top footballers, but they're also a set of wild animals. We are joined by a fan of the newly crowned league champion Liverpool, who is Cully.
One love, boys, one love.
Representing the Red Devils, we have Manny.
Ooh.
And he's joined also by a fellow Man United fan, Harver. We've got the gunner of the group, Arsenal fan, Smiley. And representing Yorkshire and the Championship, dirty Leeds fan, Hammy.
Dirty Leeds.
Welcome, fellas. Well, there is only one place to start with today's show. Liverpool have been crowned champions of England, ending a 30-year painful wait. So it's only right that we start this discussion with you, Cully. How does it feel to be champions of England?
Feels fucking amazing, boys. Obviously, I think most of you lot have been there, haven't you? Well, have Leeds?
92.
Chala, Hojan Dining. But yeah, it feels good, man. Feels good. It's been a long wait, obviously. Finally done it this season. Got a bit unlucky last season. Best team of the year, I think. Best team of the Premiership so far. Probably best team in the world at the moment. I don't think many people can deny that. But yeah, feels good, man. Feels good.
I think that's the fair shout at the moment. I think Liverpool were definitely playing the best football in the world at that point. Manny, as a United fan, you must want to pass your congratulations on to Cully, but it's got to be painful seeing how far they've come.
It's going to happen one day, won't it? Getting old now, isn't it? But finally, it's happened. So, well done to the Liverpool lads. They deserve it after 30 years. Some are 30 years old now, isn't it? And they've never seen their team win it. So
there we go. A little sly dig there, isn't it? It's taken him a week and a half to say congratulations, bro.
Even God knows, isn't it? It's not letting him celebrate properly, is it? He's got coronavirus at the same time.
But I would class you as the more balanced of the United fans. You know when you're doing well, but you also know when you're not doing well. Yeah. This Liverpool team have smashed it, haven't they? Over the last, I mean, not just this year. Last year they came so close. It's a really top side.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think you can argue it. I'd love to sit here and say Liverpool is shit just to see Cully's face, but I don't think you can say that. I didn't think they'd do it after last year. I'll be honest, after last year I thought they'd be stuffed, but you know what? Fair play to them. Fair play. They've smashed it, and I've got to back up Cully and say they're the best team in the world this season.
Exactly.
And, I wish I was having a drink. I'm not a J2O after saying that, but you know.
I'll drink for you, don't worry.
Now, of course, we've got United fans who have had a lot of success in the past, Liverpool fans who are successful now, but we've got Smiley here and Hammy who are representing teams who haven't had much success in the last few years. So I want to get the opinion of a small team.
Whoa! Small team. Risky. We are going to fall out, me and you, Mac.
I was about to say, you guys can fight over who that small team is. Is it Leeds or is it
I'll go first then.
Well, because it's no small team, and they're not the best team in the world, by the way. I think Atletico Madrid have got a lot of things to say about that. Let's not forget the pounding that they got by Atletico.
Silly cunt, are you fucking Spanish? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've only won one Champions League and one flipping Premier League in God knows how many odd years. You get what I mean? Let's not forget about that. But in regards to having a small team, Mac, like I said, me and you are going to fall out. Don't because there's no small team, you know.
When's the last time you won it?
Tongue in cheek kind of comments, by the way. But I mean, like again, Arsenal fans, they have had success. It was a joke, really. You are a big side. So I mean, so is Leeds, to be fair. But
yeah,
Smiley, this Liverpool team, what's your opinion? It sounds there like you think that it might be a little bit overhyped right now.
No. I mean, to be truthful with you, Liverpool, best team to watch at this current moment in time. Are the most enjoyable team to watch over the Premiership era? Probably not. I think we'll touch upon that later, but they are quality from top all the way down to the keeper. They're just they work as a unit. They work as a team. There's no individual great performances that take over. It's more of a team effort than anything. But in regards to Arsenal, yeah, we've been spoiled at the start, spoiled, spoon-fed, if anything, with Arsene Wenger, and now we feel like a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I think Smiley's right there. I think in terms of what he said there, in terms of being spoon-fed as an Arsenal fan, I don't think Arsenal knew how good they had it when they had Arsene Wenger. And now the success has kind of dried up, and they thought taking the club into a new direction would automatically kind of guarantee them success with a new manager. And it just hasn't happened. There's 2 managers in. They've not really got any direction going forward. But I was going to say, from an Arsenal point of view and a Liverpool point of view, there's 2 teams that kind of stick out. This Liverpool team and the Arsenal team of the mid-2000s and the early 2000s. When they had the Vieiras, the Campbells, the Henrys, the Lundbergs.
The legends.
Pretty much. And growing up in that era, in terms of when you were in like a teenager and watching that team and watching this Liverpool team, brings back a few memories, to be honest with you. But you've got to give all credit to Liverpool, the way they play football, the way they go about their business.
Yeah.
Just generally, since Klopp's come in 4 years, how he's turned that club around. He's got rid of all the kind of, we're expecting you to do this. He said when he first came in that it was going to be 4 years till we win the league. He won the Champions League last year. Kept things going for the fans. You can't take that away from what he's done at that club in 4 years. Is just ridiculous.
Can I just add to that as well? We lost the league last year by a single point, the highest points tally anyone's ever made in the history of English football, and didn't win the league. And in the season before, season before, you know what happened with fucking Karius, didn't you? Yeah. Champions League final, bro. That's just
what a player, by the way. What a player.
Shut up.
What a player.
No, but on a level, Hamid, to echo what you're saying, this Liverpool team, I don't think any of us can genuinely say we've ever seen a team like that in the Premier League, and I'm telling you that now for a fact.
Have you got a Liverpool top underneath that Leeds top by any chance?
No, man.
He's a real Cully raises a really good point here, because the disappointment of missing out on the Champions League because of Karius, and they started off that game really, really well. The disappointment of being the team that finishes second with the highest points tally. I remember the end of last season, and United fans particularly were ripping Liverpool to shit, because it was like, you've got the most points any other season we'd have won, and you still can't win it. The resilience to come back, the mindset to come back. Going to you, Harvey, that's something special, isn't it? That a team can come so close, have so much disappointment, and then come back stronger again the next year.
You can't take that away from them, Mac. Last year, getting that many points and then coming back. But if we look at last season compared to this season, and look at the teams around, the City fell away, didn't replace Company. Leicester finished ninth the season before, and they're probably going to finish in the top 4 this season, isn't it? United,
higher than United.
Bit of disarray last few years, isn't it? But Ollie back at the wheel now. The right sort of players. They'll be back challenging. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a building ground, but the competition. I'm not taking anything away from what they've done, because what they've done after 30 years is a big achievement. But the quality of the league, though, this season, it's just not been at the level that it has been at previous seasons.
Because Liverpool have fucking wiped the floor with everyone, you fucking bell end. That's why.
I agree with Cully there. I hate to say it.
Yeah, you say it, man.
If you think logically, though, when Arsenal won it, they got 80 odd points. When United won the title, we won it with 82. I don't think you can compare the team. They beat who's in front of them. It's as simple.
The other thing is, Harvey, as well. Don't let COVID-19 distract you from what Liverpool have done. In terms of, let's remember that 90%, pretty much 85-90% of the season was pretty much done before coronavirus kicked in. So I think we're sitting here, and it's come to a bit of a downer, which is a bit of a shame. But coronavirus has affected a lot of elements of our lives. And football is one of them, where we've missed the last few games. They've not been able to celebrate properly, for starters.
Thank God.
They've not been able to do any of that stuff. And the last few games has been a bit of a downer. You've got, as a Liverpool fan, I know they've celebrated as much as they can, but nobody would have been saying, like the season's fallen away. Man City, let's be honest with you, Man City were pounding teams as well. They've shown that they were still doing that the other night when what they did to Liverpool again.
Yeah, you can't
say that this season has been a write-off piece. You've played 80, 85%, 90% of your games. Liverpool have done what they've done, and you've got to give them all the credit. And I know, as a Man United fan, you don't want to say that. You know, Harvey's probably the only kind of balanced Man United opinion that we've got here. Manny's militant.
No, but I get what Manny's saying. I get what Manny's saying.
Coming to you, because you were nodding while Manny was saying that the league might not be in the same quality as previous leagues. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, look, you've got your normal top six up there, and you can't say that Man City were the best, best full-flowing football team that we know. You know,
the league position dictates that they were the second best.
But that's my point, is that they weren't playing to their full potential that they could have. I mean, they showed it to you lot on the other day when they smashed you 4-0. Do you get what I mean? That's a full-flowing Man City team. That's one that's ticking, and they weren't doing that through this season. They were losing crap games, stupid games. The game against Chelsea, they just possession, and they were just missing out. I don't think the teams this season were at their highest point, which they could have been. You didn't really have anyone challenging. And credit
that's
to
the league, though, Smile, isn't it? That's the the City you got taken out of City last season, didn't it? In terms of the what.
One second, let me say something. Right, going back to Harvey's point. When he was mentioning obviously the points tally, Liverpool are on 86 points. We've got 6 games left. When Leicester won the league, nobody said all the other teams fell off. Leicester were just the best team in that fucking league that year. Liverpool are the same. How can you say that other teams haven't showed up? Liverpool might not have showed up. This is the thing with Man United fans, the fucking bastards, yeah? If we had won the league last season, they would have said to us, ended it 29 years, but you only won it by a point. That's the bullshit that they bring to this table, man. So regardless, and Harvey, you will agree, as a real fan. I think. And this season, we've wiped the fucking floor with everyone. We've taken everyone to fucking cleaners, yeah? People are still saying, could have done a bit better. Fuck up, man. When Manny says that the quality hasn't been there, if you look at the teams, Chelsea, the quality is not there yet. Man United is not there. Tottenham are crap. But I think the league overall, I think we've got a stronger league than we have. Because if you look at Wolves, you look at Leicester, the top 4 teams aren't as good as they used to be. But I think that's really fair. I think that's a really fair point, however, because if you think about the strength in depth in the Premier League, how that's improved over the years, I think that, Man City, we can say they haven't been the strongest Man City side, but that's the point of winning the Premier League, isn't it? That you have to turn up week in, week out, and Liverpool have managed to turn up week in, week out. And I do want to come on to Cully. I want to ask you, the last game against Man City, I mean, obviously it would have been great for Liverpool to go to Man City and beat them or show a bit more fight than they did. Is that a hangover game, or is that a sign of what Man City can really do and what's to come for next season?
A bit of both, Mac. And the reason why I say that is because Man City, after Liverpool, are the best team in the Premier League, yeah? If you're talking even Europe level, they're probably the most feared team outside of Liverpool, yeah? So we already knew Man City had that in the bank. We all know that, yeah? But it is a hangover game. Let's get things right here. Do you know what I mean? We smashed Crystal Palace 4-0. Probably the best I've seen Liverpool play this season. Even Jurgen Klopp said that. And then it got to Man City game. Yeah, but it's no excuse. You lot heard me yesterday admit it, and Manny recorded it. Fucking cunt that he is. Where I said, it's hangover. But it was a hangover game. But it's still no excuse. We should have shown up. But just look at the chances that we've missed, man. Salah hit the post early on. If we were 1-0 up, we might have cruised the game. Mane missed a stupid chance where he just let it roll through his legs. Do you see what I mean? Bobby, again, Mane, when Salah hit the post and it came back to Mane, it's a heavy touch going out for a goal kick. It could have been 5-3, it could have been 6-2, it could have been whatever. It definitely was a hangover game, but Man City have always got that in the tank. So I'm not going to say that they didn't deserve to win. They did. Liverpool just didn't show up, but it very much was a hangover game.
Do you think that's the experience of winning the league, though? Because if you look at teams that have won the league previously, they very rarely go on to, even when they've won it, 3-4 games beforehand, they'll go to the next game like they haven't won the league. So I think that's possibly experience of not having anybody there, probably in the club, that's ever won the league before. They just celebrated it, reached, potentially, reached the highs of the achievement that they wanted for that season, and just thought, you know what, fuck it, let's just go out party, whatever.
Do you,
and then
do you blame them,
next
Matt?
game,
Do
it
you
is what
kind
it
of
is.
blame them? They've been living in a pressure cooker for what?
Nine
months, right, since last year. So, and it's not one of them leagues where they've not been able to take them. They've not lost. They've not really, apart from that last game that they lost, one previous to this one. They've only lost two. This is the second game they've lost all season. So you've got to give it to them where, they've been committed. And fair enough. If they've blown off, it was nothing to lose. And the other thing is, you can say that Liverpool had a hangover game. Man City had something to prove. They've just lost. They've just lost the league.
Hamid,
can I just say something? Come back strong.
Liverpool have secured the league 7 games before the end of the season. 31 games. No team in history has ever done that. That's the first thing. The second thing is Klopp's lost 3 games and won 4 trophies in the last 2 years.
That's incredible.
Lost 3 games, 3 Premier League games. 1 last season and 2 this season. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And you know what, Cully, you bring up a really, really good point. And Harvey, I want to come to you on this. Klopp's reaction after that game, he was pissed off. It wasn't a hangover game for him in terms of, you know what, we turned up. He really, really upset with the questions he was being asked. And what does that say about his mentality going into this season and next season?
If you look at his mentality, I think he's the one that will try push him again. Like Cully said, that's a hangover game. I think the opposite. I think if you're a great football team, you don't take your foot off the pedal, whether you've won the league, whether you've done whatever. I don't think you can do that. So I think there's a reaction from Klopp where he's going to have to kick their ass and get them back in shape. But if you look at that team, they've rated most of them haven't seen Liverpool win the league in their lifetime. So now they've won it. What's the motivation to go do it again? I think that's the hardest bit. I know we said that they lost by a point and they lost the Champions League final. But you got to understand they didn't win either of them, so they still had that motivation to go do it. Now they've done both of them. They got beat by Atletico Madrid, and now the Premier League they've just got beat by City. And even though it probably is just a game and they've lost control, whatever, but it's going to be 50, 60 times harder to go back and do it next year when you know City are going to come back, and you have to get yourself up because no one's there saying you've been waiting 30 years. You've been waiting 20 odd days. Massive difference from 20 days and 30 years. So I think
just on that point as well. Sorry, just quickly on that point. Did anyone hear what Klopp said very recently? We're not going to defend the season, or we're not going to defend the title next season or next year. We're going to attack it. That's the mentality, bro. You have to remember, we lost the league, we lost the Champions League, we came back the next season, won the Champions League. We lost the league, we came back the next season, won the league. It's going to be hard to maintain it, but it can happen.
They always say that retaining is harder than winning. Harder. The hunger to win is there, but once you've managed to do that, Manny, what do Liverpool need to do to push on and win it again? Where do they need to improve? Because one thing for sure is looking at the way City approached that game against Liverpool, they had a point to prove. If they're out of the Champions League, they're going to put all their efforts into the league. In which areas do Liverpool need to improve now?
Difficult, Mac. If you look at that Liverpool team, it's a team
world class.
It's not. Maybe, innit? Maybe.
Aye.
I mean, what they've done in the league, but apart from they haven't been world class, have they? So it's a difficult one because when you look at the team's built. Each player plays its part. So if you take one part of that out of that team, the question is then who comes into that team? And if you look at that front three, and it works, doesn't it? It works well. They've got obviously Salah, Mane scoring all the goals, and then Firmino that is in essence running around a lot for. But it works.
I want everyone's take on Bobby Firmino next, Mac. Please,
we're coming on to that.
He just runs around.
Manny, you carry on talking.
When you look at a front three and you look at the best front threes and things like that. You look at front threes and then you judge them by A, what they've won, and B, by the amount of goals and amount of assists they've scored, etc. And I think if there's anywhere that they can improve, it is in that front three. But if you took Firmino out of it, it might not work. That's the only thing, because he's a striker. His main goal should be to score goals. Yeah, and that front three should be looking to push on to get 100 goals in it. I think
we've already got over 100 this season, mate. We got over 100 last season. Point done.
No, I'm talking about them three in it, Colette. I'm talking about the front three in terms of
what each of them need 100 goals or combined.
No, combined.
Combined.
Yeah.
Name me any other three that have done that in the Premier League in the last 5 years as well.
Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. Well,
One season.
Combined
if
100 goals.
No, I'm just saying, if you're talking about goal contributions, I saw the stat which said they're both on like 51 odd. So, but I get what Maddie's saying. But then again, when we go into the Firmino discussion,
Right, let's go into this Firmino discussion, because I want to, Smiley, I want to start with you, and I've got a stat for you here. This is from the Premier League. And if you go onto the Premier League player stats and filter big chances missed, who's the players with the biggest chances missed this season? We've got Tammy Abraham, 20 big chances missed this season, top of the league. Joint top of the league is Roberto Firmino, 20 big chances missed this season. What's your opinion on Firmino? Is he the one of the three that if you're going to get rid of one of them, or one of them needs improving, it's him?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult decision. If you're gonna move any one of them three, you would choose Firmino.
No, you won't.
But it's funny because majority of the Liverpool fans that I've spoke to, they've said Firmino or potentially Salah. No one's touched Mane, but for me, it would be Bobby. Don't get me wrong. I think Bobby's class. He's massively, massively underrated, and I think the fact that people are not gunning for him, the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona, it does baffle me. He's workhorse. He does all the work for your midfielders. He drops deep, wins the ball, brings in the play for Mane and Salah. The movement that he has and the little intricate touches that he does around the box is amazing. I first saw Bobby Firmino when I watched Brazil against Chile, and it was 1-0. Guess who scored? Bobby Firmino. And I was like, who is this goofy guy scoring against Chile? My mighty Chile. And yeah, Bobby Firmino. And then the next thing you know, he's at Liverpool, and he's not a prolific goal scorer. Yeah, he misses chances, but the work that he does off the ball, the work he does for the other two to get them to get the goals for his club, amazing.
Cully, we talk about Firmino missing big chances and maybe not scoring as many goals. Is that his role though? Is that his job, or is he the anchor point for the other two?
Bobby cannot leave that team out of that front three. You'd rather lose, and I know this is going to sound a bit dramatic here, but you'd rather lose Salah or Mane. What Bobby does for that team, everything, don't get me wrong, it starts from the back, yeah? But Bobby lets Mane and Salah do what they're doing. If that wasn't Bobby, remember we had a bit of discussion a couple of days ago about Harry Kane playing that role. Harry Kane will score more goals, but Salah and Mane will score less. He's like the unsung hero. He's like the Makalele from back in the days. He's like the Kante for Chelsea. Do you see what I mean? Or whatever, the Carrick who never really got into the papers or whatever from a Man United perspective.
Interesting point, Cully. He sort of plays a pivot role.
He does.
He plays a pivot role in that front three as a midfielder would play, like a Busquets or something. He gets the ball ticking, and it's something that you probably haven't seen before. Certainly I've not seen before. You try and play false nines. In fact, that's what you should call him, a false nine. Because he does. He drops deep, and like I said, he makes that space in around the back for the Mane and Salah to go. But he is like I said, touch upon that point. It's weird how he is a pivot role for that front three.
It's a unique.
Put it this way. Sorry, Matt.
Unique role that. It's a unique role that. And Cully, just before you start there, Manny, you're not that impressed though, are you? To be honest, Firmino's not your cup of tea.
No, I think a number 9 should be one that assists and scores back. It should be that sort of role, and I reckon
like Martial, or whoever's the number 9 for United.
First season as number 9, and he's already beaten Bobby's numbers. Actually, I think he's doubled Bobby's numbers, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, but he's not got a Premier League.
Listen, Mac, I was just going to say this, yeah? Do you remember when Harry Kane cost England, bastard, Euros, whatever it was, when he didn't square the ball?
Yeah.
International or club football, Bobby squaring that. That's the difference. I mean, that is the difference.
The difference is, Cully, is Bobby doesn't get in that Brazil squad for some reason, which is weird. It's honestly, and I'm as shocked as you are, because I'd have Bobby over Jesus.
I would
every day. I would, especially in that Brazil squad. I think they need somebody like that to work. But Jesus and Bobby are quite similar in certain aspects. They both are workhorses, but you just feel that maybe Jesus has got more of a clinical finishing than Bobby. That's probably why
I think it's different. I think if you traditionally talk about Brazilian players, talk flair and skill. Bobby's not flair skill necessarily compared to Jesus. That's the difference. You could argue Ederson and Alisson. Ederson in the Premier League is fucking world class. His distribution, but who's Alisson?
Jumping on the Firmino thing, I don't think Firmino fits in many other sides. I say Firmino is as irreplaceable to that Liverpool team as Van Dijk. I think if you take Firmino out, you're stuffed.
I'm glad you said that, Harvey.
What happens in Harvey? You know, Liverpool. You can look at this Liverpool side in a lot of ways. They've been smashed at this season. They've been good with injuries as well. If one of those front three gets injured, that's a huge dent in that side. What do Liverpool need to do? They need to go out and buy a fourth, fifth striker to back these guys up.
I think in terms of striker, I don't think striker is necessarily what they really need, because the position that they play with a false nine, you're not going to find another one out there. I'd say the only other one from the top of my mind is probably Dybala that does that same type of stuff. But even then, he don't do as much running. I think the wide players, Mane takes it over Salah for me. But I think if you've got that team playing as a team, you can put a player world class to jump in on the wing. And I think he'll do bits like Bergwijn for Spurs. I think he'd do well in that Liverpool team. Pulisic, if you look, I think any player that's got quality, you put him on that Liverpool top three as long as it's down the wings. And they guarantee you 10, 15 goals a season the way they play.
I mean,
that's how it works.
Can we just ask Hammy what he thinks about Bobby?
Yeah, I was going to say, this situation is very similar. It's going to laugh at this because it's a very similar situation to what Leeds have had with Patrick Bamford. So we've got a number 9 there, right?
Who doesn't score goals?
He works like a horse.
Who we're talking about, Hammy?
Bamford.
Who's that?
Patrick Bamford, yeah.
Who's that?
He looks a bit like a donkey. And
the thing is, the amount of, I think if you put a stat, the same stat, big chances missed this season, I think Bamford would be bloody hell. Both leagues combined, I think he'd be in a league of his own, to be honest with you. But the reason Bielsa still has him in his team is his fitness, his work, his work rate, and he creates those little, those little spaces, those little gaps. And teams like Liverpool and the way that Leeds are playing in the last couple of seasons, it's high intensity, high press. You need players with that level of fitness, that level of understanding. And I think what those managers then accept is that chances are going to be missed. All right, okay, then they're not your type of player that's your typical, he's going to bang 30 goals a season. Patrick Bamford this season got about 14 goals, I think, right? He should be in his 20. If he was an out-and-out striker and that's what he were doing, I think Leeds would have won the league by now if he'd have finished his chances, because it's so obviously, it's one of them things where it's kind of, you're thinking, what the hell are you doing? Why are you not finishing these chances? But he does create a lot of space for other players to run into. He harries the defenders. For me, Firmino, he's, like Harvey said, he is irreplaceable in that squad, and I don't think anybody else can. If you take Firmino out, who else are you going to bring in to fit in?
It's a good point. Yeah. And it's like Smiley says, that he's doing a role which is very, very unique. It's not a traditional number 9 role. It's not even a traditional false number 9 role. It's something that he's kind of created for himself. I mean, now looking at this Liverpool side, they probably will strengthen in some areas. But one thing for sure is City are probably going to throw a lot of money at strengthening because of the defence is not being so great. Smiley, coming to you first. Who's favourites for next season?
Arsenal.
I mean, if we do the right signings, we could be up there, though. No. We've got a lot of work to do as a squad. But yeah, your favourites are always going to be the team that won it. I think the only time when a team wasn't the favourite once they've won it was probably Leicester. But I think, Liverpool, Man City, the normal two. Chelsea have strengthened very, very well. How they gel together, we'll just wait and see. Man United, obviously, they're picking up form, but, they've signed one player and all of them have got a hard on about it. And it's like, you've got a full team there. And I think it's going to be an interesting next season. I think everyone says it. Next season will be very, very difficult for Liverpool to retain this title. More difficult than they actually think.
Cully, what's your fears for next season? Because obviously, the confidence is high right now, but like Smiley says, a lot of teams will improve. Chelsea are kicking on. United look like there's some signs there. you'd expect that Mourinho will get his act together at Tottenham at some point and make them stronger. If they're as strong as they were under Pochettino, that's another question. But there's, Wolves are looking good. There's a strong Premier League out there right now. What's the biggest worry for you at the moment with Liverpool? Where do you feel like the pressure's going to come from next season?
First of all, shout out Harry for the Wolves thing. But to answer that question, Macca, Liverpool's biggest worry, and I don't know why I'm saying this, because last season we didn't sign a single player. It's strengthening for next year. When we talk about complacency, I think managers bring new players in after they win something to make sure that the current crop of players do not get comfortable. Yeah? He's already said we're not going to sign anyone this year. I'm thinking, for fuck's sake. Lallana's leaving, but he's a bit part player, yeah? Klein's leaving. I've not seen him for 6 years, so I don't give a shit. We've got little young Neco Williams coming through right back. He's not world class, but he's good. He can do a job. And then you've got Curtis Jones in the middle, who technically, he could replace Lallana, yeah? My biggest concern is we need a left back. We need a backup winger for Salah or Mane. And then the rest is as it is. But that's my biggest concern, the fact that if Liverpool do not strengthen, Man City are going to strengthen. Chelsea are now out of their transfer embargo where they haven't been able to sign any players, and they've signed some fucking worldies, yeah? United with Bruno Fernandes, what a player. Absolute baller. You can say Pogba's a new signing. I think Pogba's fucking shit, straight up. His mentality's not right. And then Arsenal are just different altogether. I don't even know where to start with Arsenal. And obviously, if I'm talking about Leeds as well, if Leeds get promoted, Hammy, this season, I think he'll do bits next year. I really do. Yeah. But my biggest concern, to answer that question, Mark, is Liverpool not signing someone to replace who we've got now. And we need a left back, 100%. And then we need a replacement winger. That's my biggest concern.
If we don't go back to the greatest manager in Premier League history, which was Fergie, right? Yeah.
Who?
Even as a Leeds fan, you've got to admit.
One of your Freemason, bro. One of your Freemason.
The way he did business was he strengthened when at the strongest point, when his team was at the strongest. So he always used to add 1 or 2 players in a season when he just won it. It'd be so silly at this moment in time for Liverpool not to strengthen that squad.
But we didn't do that last season, and look what we've done.
Yeah, but it's easy to now strengthen a squad that's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Another season down the line, and you don't win it, and then if the cracks start to appear, and then try to rebuild a team around that, it's going to be much more difficult. If you strengthen this one, it'll be much more simple going forward.
Bringing you on that, Harvard, what's your opinion on that? Where do Liverpool need, not necessarily where do Liverpool need to strengthen, but if they don't strengthen, is that dangerous?
Oh yeah, 100%. If they don't strengthen, I reckon I'm already saying it. They're not gonna find it as easy as next year. But if they don't strengthen left back, a winger, and probably a centre mid. I look at the centre mids in that team, and for me, when you look at Liverpool, you talk about the back 5 and then the top 3. I think that midfield just does a job, in my opinion. I'm sure we'll get on to Hendo, the great player he is.
Yeah.
But I think that's the danger. But like Hammy said, I think you've got to be a special type of manager to sort a team out again and again and again. Fergie got rid of some quality players. Beckham, Stam. If there wasn't playing, or he didn't feel like they were going to fit in next year, he'd get rid of them. Will Klopp do the same? Can Klopp get rid of a centre mid or a centre back if they're not playing as good? I'm not too sure. I think he's got, and he's friends with his team. I know he bollocks them, but he's got that mentality of I'm gonna give everyone a hug. You can give him a hug, but if you're bringing in a right winger that's better than Salah, are you really going to put him in? I don't know if he's going to do it. I think it's going to take him a couple of years to figure out that to be successful in the Premier League, you've got to be cutthroat. You've got to get rid of your best players again and again just to replace them with better players. So Wenger and Fergie did it. Well, I say Wenger did it. He tried. Fergie did it. So
The challenge you've got is, Fergie managed to reinvent that United side over and over again. You can't really see many managers who've done that. Mourinho struggled to reinvent teams. He's bought really well, and he's smashed teams. But reinventing that team is very difficult. And Fergie's, that's something that he's done really well. Manny, just in terms of the other teams around Liverpool now, whether they strengthen or don't strengthen, how far away are the likes of United, Arsenal, Chelsea from challenging for this title? Because we know for sure Man City are going to be challenging. How far away are the other teams?
I think City are going to be the nearest challengers next season, Mac. I think United signing Bruno is the type of player that United need, and he fits the United mold. So if they can get a couple more in that that sort of mould, and they're a bit hot and cold at the moment. Like when Ollie came in, they went on a huge, impressive run in it, and then it fell down, and they're on a really good run now.
Down the fucking cliff, mate.
Is this gonna carry on? But obviously he's got his own players in now, so if he gets a few more in, then they've got an opportunity to challenge. I don't think they'll challenge next season. I think it'll probably be the season after. We need Rashford and Martial to start firing properly. They're showing signs this season. So hopefully next season they both push on, and then obviously Greenwood's coming through, and Greenwood's going to be an amazing player, but he's still really young. So get somebody in on the right wing, then United will challenge, maybe get another centre back.
I think we're close.
And then with Arsenal, it's difficult with Arsenal because obviously they're
always is.
they're. Are they going to keep their
Don't
play?
get Manny's opinion about Arsenal, all right? Get my opinion about Arsenal.
I am going to come to you smartly on Arsenal specifically. And I know, Hammy, I want to get your opinion on Chelsea. I know you're not a Chelsea fan, but you know that team's strengthened really well. Smiley, with Arsenal, we've got what's supposedly Guardiola Part 2 in Mikel Arteta there. Someone who's got the potential to be a quality manager, hasn't proven it or shown it yet. Are you comfortable with him in position as manager, and how far are Arsenal away?
I mean, if you look at the games where Arteta's played, being our manager, if you put them into a league table, we're fourth. It's like having another fucking Arsene Wenger. We don't want another Arsene Wenger, man. We want I thought we made a big mistake when we didn't sign Ancelotti and we signed Arteta. Yeah, you can see the difference in how we play. We're never going to be a Pep Guardiola side. We are as far as possible to win in that league as most Arsenal fans think. And I'm the most optimistic Arsenal fan you can find out there. But I think we need quality signings. We are going to be a mid-table team, a European scraping, what's that? Europa League. We are
B-Tech League that United are in now.
The one the final that you lot lost, yeah.
Still wanting more time to do sunshine.
But yeah, it's we're far, very far. We need a good few seasons, and we are going to be that team now where we will chop and change managers every 2-3 seasons, and that's what we need to adapt to, because we ain't going to find another Wenger out there that's going to stay with us for 15, 20 odd years, or however long he stayed with us. It's just not going to happen.
Hammy, I saw something the other week that Paul Merson was talking about, wrote an article saying that he expects Chelsea to win the league within the next few years with the signings that they've made. That, to me, is a really strong statement. But they have made good signings. But, again, Lampard is a relatively young manager. What about Chelsea and all of this? Because we do talk about United with Bruno, City are going to be strong. Are Chelsea on their way back up?
I think that's a strong statement. It's a bold statement to make that, and I think it's quite early doors to make, because you've got to remember, for Frank Lampard, it's his second full season as a manager, and he's managing one of the top clubs in the country. But the crop that they already had, even though they had the transfer embargo on them, they had some good quality players in that squad anyway. All right, not title challenging, but they had a decent squad, a better squad than a lot of the teams in the Premier League already. In terms of challenging, I don't think they'll be challenging next season. I think, they'll be top 4 contenders for sure, even maybe top 3 contenders. I think going that step further, I think it takes. We've seen what it takes to win the title, Matt. In terms of, look what Liverpool have had to do to win that title. Look at the experience Klopp's brought from Germany, from Dortmund to Liverpool. Yes, Lampard's a good manager. He's a young manager at the moment. But let's not take it that further and just say, look, he's going to be competing against Klopp next season. He's going to be competing against Pep Guardiola. You've got Mourinho in the mix as well. I'm not saying that he's going to contend for the title. There's a few names in there that he's going to have to pick to even get close to that title. So top 3, yes. Title, I don't think so. I don't think that happening. And I don't think that. I don't know how long Frank Lampard will last at Chelsea either. You can't be going 2, 3, 4 seasons at Chelsea without winning something major. Yeah. And if you don't something major, Abramovich is going to say, look, I need a change. I need to bring somebody in that's definitely going to bring me success. And I think they'll be itchy in the next couple of seasons to say, look, we need a big trophy at the club again.
Yeah. Harvard, coming to you, top 4 next season, who's that going to be?
I think City and Liverpool take the top 2.
What order, Harvard?
I'm going to go City. I'm going City, Liverpool, and then to be fair, I'm more optimistic than Manny. Manny said we're a couple of seasons away from United. I don't think we are. And when you look at that team, I think for the first time since all the clowns like Di Maria and Falcao and all them have gone that come in for big money, they've actually got a decent squad now. Bar the left back, I'd probably say Luke Shaw gives me nightmares. Well, apart from that, if you look, Pogba, I know Cully says he's shit. I think Cully says his mindset shit. But if you look at him as a player, he walks into a lot of Premier League teams easily.
Walks into a lot of teams around the world.
Yeah.
I fully think Pogba is one of the best centre mids out there at this moment in time when he can play.
He doesn't fit into that Liverpool team, I'll tell you now.
I tell you he would.
Yeah, he walks into that Liverpool team.
You offer Pogba.
Nah, bro. It's his mentality, man. He'd rather have a workhorse in Gini Wijnaldum, in Fabinho, in Henderson than have a so-called fucking number 10 who doesn't know whether he's a 10, an 8 or a 6. It's a mentality thing with Pogba.
Cully, would you take Bruno?
100%. I think Bruno's a baller, bro. Liverpool have been linked with all these big-time players, yeah, and we signed no one. We signed Bunde like fucking Shaqiri. Do you get what I mean? Bruno is world-class. I said that from the moment he came in. Check all my previous WhatsApp messages before all the abuse that I sent to Manny. But Bruno is certainly a baller. Yeah. Any team would appreciate Bruno.
Yeah.
I think
So how I come back to you? Top 4 for you is City, Liverpool. Then who's getting the other 2 Champions places?
United and Chelsea. I'd put United second if Matic was 4 years younger. I genuinely think if Matic was 4 years younger, I'd be Sancho.
Who's that? Matic.
Oh. Yeah, Matic is a baller. Yeah. I mean, Sancho's coming. I don't care what anyone says.
Keep dreaming, man. He's not coming. He's not on his way to United. Not a chance.
Fans getting excited.
Oh, yeah, Man United saying
he's coming. But
if you look at it, if Man United do get Sancho, if Matic plays like he is now, yeah, it's a pretty good team. So I reckon we'll be closer than Manny thinks in terms of. I think we'll be challenging for second, and it's not going to be a 20-point title. I think we're miles away. I think it'll be a close title next year, but Chelsea will take 4th, and then probably Tottenham, Leicester, Wolves, and then you've got the bottom team. Like you'll see Arsenal probably 14th, maybe.
Don't take the piss.
Big statement.
No.
Yeah, this is recording. I'm being serious.
I think I would. I'd probably emulate what Harvard's saying. I think you'd probably have City and Liverpool up there. I don't know which order, but them two are they're miles ahead of the rest of the league. United, I wouldn't even put Spurs up there because Spurs are still find it difficult to come, to finish above us even now when we're having such a shit season. But yeah, Wolves are looking good. Don't forget, boys, we've got a Newcastle side that have got these Arabs taken over, and they could absolutely blitz this. If they get Poch, and brand new season. That you just never know. You've got Leeds, the like of Leeds coming up with Bielsa, world class manager.
World class.
Do you get what I mean? And you've got these teams. Next season is going to be amazing. I genuinely can't wait, and I'm glad that it's going to be such a small break before next season starts as well.
How many top 4 for you next season?
I can't disagree with what Harvard said. Man United, Chelsea, maybe the other way around, but you can't. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm not going to put my name to that. I think what Harvard said is pretty spot on. You've got the top 4 there. Depending if Liverpool strengthen next season, if they can bring a player in that really fits into that team and gels well, who knows? But you just can't ignore what Man City have got. They've got they've got the funds, they've got the manager, they've got the hunger from this season by not winning it, and they've got the experience of winning it in previous seasons. Will they be? Well, in terms of the Champions League, they're not going to be in the Champions League next season, are they? In terms of if the ban goes, if the ban goes through. Yeah. They've got to. Man City have then got to win a major. The only major trophy that you're going to win, apart from the Champions League, is the league title. So it's a massive thing not having those midweek games, those 2-leg games in the Champions League, and the group stages. and you can concentrate your all everything in the league. So I think Liverpool have got it cut out next season to defend the title. But yeah, really interesting to see, like Smiley says, hopefully Leeds can do it and come back up this season. These last 6 games, and it'll be a very interesting season next year. Some big teams, some really good games to look forward to. Those fans will be spoiled for choice next season.
They will. Cully, top 4 for you next season. I'm sure I know your number 1 spot.
Man City,
Liverpool, City. But honestly, no way there's going to be a 20-point, 30-point gap, whatever it is now. Yeah. I just want to throw in there, United are closer, to the relegation zone than they are to Liverpool this season, FYI. Yeah. Liverpool, City. I think Chelsea, for some reason, the players that they're bringing in, Werner, Ziyech, they've already got world-class centre-holding mid in Kante. They've got a good defence. Keeper's a bit fucking questionable. But I think
good as well, isn't he?
Pulisic, wicked. I think they'll do it. For me, and I'm not a Man United fan, I do think Man United are going to get 4th next year. Yeah, they'll be in the top 4. But I don't think what Harvey said, you need a Sancho, bro. I don't think you do. I think you need the holding midfielder that you're after, and I think you need a defence, man. Your keeper's fucking bollocks.
The thing is, Cully, if you look at Man United, right, Ollie's not doing anything new. Ollie is basically opening Ferguson's biography and looking what Fergie did. That's all.
Exactly.
That's literally what. And if you look, the way Fergie played, he had 2 wingers that would get to the byline and pull it back.
Yeah.
No one can tell me Dan James is a starting 11 player. And no one can tell Mason Greenwood's ready yet. So you have to go get a right wing. And if you look out there, Sancho looks like you. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could pick one player to fit the Man United team, I'd pick Harry Kane. I'd pick him over anyone because he'd get 20, 30 goals for us. But I think the right wing has been a problem since Ronaldo left. I mean, we tried Valencia and then he went to right back. So you've got literally the right wing.
Yeah, but United have got a history of doing that. Ashley Young as well, innit?
Banging goals against Arsenal.
And the other thing is, Man United have shown a lot of patience with Ollie this season, right? I don't think he's going to have that same amount of patience shown towards him next season. And if there's a bad start or there's a blip next season, and it looks like it's going to affect their chances of getting top 4. If Man United don't get top 4 next season, right? Okay, it's going to be that's a massive loss for them. They cannot be without Champions League football or competing for European places next season. Ollie's going to be out the door next season. They cannot afford to have
It's a good point, Hammy, because I think there's a lot of managers under pressure for next season because the top two spots are done. But if you think, how much time is Dan Levy going to give Mourinho at Tottenham? How much time is Abramovich going to give Lampard at Chelsea? How much time is Ollie going to get now? I mean, I know Everton aren't getting anywhere close, but Ancelotti's a big name in that dressing room. He's a very, very clever manager. He knows how to get things done. If Poch is back in the league with Newcastle, as the rumours are, that's another manager there. There's some top, and Nuno at Wolves as well.
Yeah. Class
manager. But so it's going to be a really competitive league. But, we've been talking there a lot about people like not replacing Ronaldo, how good Bruno is, that kind of thing. And I want to get onto the discussion because I want to move towards picking our Hit the Bar Premier League 11. But before we do that, I want to talk about the PFA Player of the Year or Player of the Year this season. The obvious shout is a Liverpool player because they've won the league. The name that keeps getting bandied around is Jordan Henderson. Now, one thing without a doubt is Henderson, as a captain, as a leader of that Liverpool team, the way he brings players in, the way he shows them hard work, drive and dedication, you can't deny that. Does that make him the best player, the best football player in the league over the season? Harvey, let's start with you.
Is that enough? Because I genuinely don't think Hendo is not good enough to be mentioned in the top class midfielders. I don't think he's the best midfielder at Liverpool, if I'm honest. I think Fabinho's a better player. I think Keita's a better player. Lallana's probably a better footballer. So I genuinely think if you offered, I know Cully said he wouldn't take Pogba, but if you said to Klopp right now, take a Premier League midfielder over Henderson, he'd pick 5 if he could. He'd take De Bruyne. He'd take the likes of
KDB, yeah.
So you know what I mean. So I think, but then again, he's a leader. That's the only reason he's in that team. But to banish him with the best player in the Premier League, he's not in the top 5 best players at Liverpool this season. So I think if he gets it, it's because he's English, and I think that's we always tend to do it, don't we? But I don't think he's good enough to be, and he hasn't played good enough to be the player. You don't look at him and say this year he's saved Liverpool or he's done this for Liverpool to win this. He's been there, he's contributed, but he's not the sole reason they've won the league. So I think to give him the player of the season would be a very, very outrageous one.
Hammy, player of the year, is he player of the year, or and if he's not, who's in the running?
To be honest with you, Hendo, I think that's the first time I've heard his name in terms of player of the year for the season. I don't. It's a difficult call. I don't think he's a leader. Yes, like Harvey said, he's a leader, and he's taken this Liverpool team to a place that even Gerrard couldn't take Liverpool, right? And he's led them last season to the Champions League and this season to a Premier League title. Player of the year, I think it's a very difficult. It's a difficult call. I don't think it's. Yes, maybe another Liverpool player. Genuinely, I think in this season, I don't think there's a standout one player this season. I think if you're going to look at it from that point of view, I think it's the Liverpool team that's won this league. I can't personally say that. When you used to have back in the day when you used to have an Henry, a Cantona, a Frank Lampard, a Gerrard, that you saw that they won something for their team single-handedly. You look at the 2005 Champions League final with Gerrard. You look at the 2006 FA Cup final with Gerrard. Yeah, whatever. This season, it's been the Liverpool team that won the league. It's not one player. For me, KDB, he's not won the league for Man City, so you can't even call him the best player in the league. But no, I don't think Hendo's there.
This is the question, though. Do you it might sound like a daft question, but do you have to have won something to be the best player in the league over the season? Riley, let's come to you on that. I'm struggling to understand the criteria because, yes, Liverpool's won the league, so the obvious choice is your Manes, your Van Dijks, Henderson, whoever else. But the best player in the league doesn't necessarily mean that they've been in the best team.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, we talk about, we play football ourselves, and we will see people that play at a professional level and we think, well, they're not actually that good. They don't know why they're there. Let's get it right. Hendo's probably the most improved footballer that we've seen over the past 2 to 3 seasons. Without a shadow of a doubt, he is. But for me, KDB all day, he's got to be the best Premier League player of this season. I think you've got the likes of, Wolves is a Traore quality, some of their Wolves team. And, if... what's his name, Manny? That you lot signed, that you lot keep noshing off. What's his name again? Bruno, that's the one, right? I think, genuinely, I think if Bruno started the season, he could have been up there as well. And
he would have walked it.
I don't know about walked it. I think
walked it.
I think Kevin De Bruyne at this very moment of time is the best midfielder in the world. In my opinion, is the best midfielder in the world, and he would definitely walk into any team. He's unreal work rate, unreal. Left foot, right foot, free kicks. He's got the whole lot.
I think for De Bruyne to take it, I think he'd have to beat Henry's assist record. I think because that's what type of stuff they judge it off. So personally, I'd go Salah purely because I think people forget what he did before lockdown. 15 goals, 7 assists. That's a lot.
He was on fire.
Salah goes unmissed though, doesn't he? He really does go unmissed. He goes unnoticed, but you've got to see what he's done over the past 2 seasons as well.
I think that's the same for Mane and Cully. I want to give you the final word on Henderson. So I'll ask Manny first. PFA player of the year for this season. Is Hendo good enough to be talked about in that regard? And if not, who should we be talking about for that?
Matt, can I just ask Manny as well what his top 4 is? I want to know what his top 4 is.
Yeah.
Top 4 for next season?
No,
top 4 for this season.
This season was after 30 years, wasn't it? So finally happened.
Good deal, yeah.
So no, Hendo can't be talked about PFA Player of the Year. It has to be based on being the best player. And Hendo, I agree with Harvey on this. Hendo is not even the best midfielder at Liverpool. So obviously he's a captain. He's led the team, and it's like Hammy said, he's done something that Gerrard did. Yeah. and which is true. But then that's like saying Luke Chadwick's got a Premier League medal and Gerrard hasn't. Yeah, and is he?
What a player Luke Chadwick was!
The quality player.
He was so ugly.
You a fucking model, silly cunt.
and that's coming from Harvard.
Do you remember the tweets that went round and the people were slating the guy?
Harvard acting like he's in GQ fucking magazine, bro.
I mean, let's just start. Maddie, sorry to interrupt, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Vieira won the Premier League as a captain, unreal captain. Was he ever nominated or even put up there for a PFA? I don't think he was.
What was that?
And there was probably seasons where he should have won it as well.
But this is my point. You know, you look at quite a few centre midfielders. Roy Keane, you know, captain. Was he probably nominated for a PFA? Probably not. But was he an unreal captain? Yes, he was. But he was not the best Premier League footballer in that particular era. And you know, Hendo.
The fact that Cully's not arguing Hendo's case shows that he's
Cully's been respectfully listening to everyone's opinions on Hendo. So
Cully and respectful have never been in the same sentence.
Respectful is probably the wrong word. He's been listening anyway. Cully, I want to kind of give you the spotlight here because you've heard the guys talk about Hendo. You've heard what their criteria is for a player of the year. How good is Jordan Henderson? Does he deserve to be considered as one of the best players of the season?
Yeah, he does. Can I just let everyone know?
I'm disconnecting, boys. I'm disconnecting.
I didn't know you were on the call anyway, bro. Arsenal. Can I just say, Liverpool haven't just won the Premier League this season. Bro, we've won the international set of fucking trophies that no other English team has ever done. The World Club Cup, the current Champions League holders, and the Super Cup. Liverpool have won 4 trophies in a year. We've won 3 this season alone. When people talk about KD being the best player, that just sounds like you lot are just sucking his dick, just like you would do if it's Messi or Ronaldo. You say it because he's the best, yet talented, gifted. What Henderson's done this season, bro, name me another captain who's done that. What I will say is, though, on that point as well, I do think Van Dijk deserves it more than Henderson, yeah? But he, as a captain for Liverpool, has taken Liverpool to the Champions League 2 years in a row. He, as captain of Liverpool, has won the World Club Cup. He's won the Super Cup. He's won the Premier League. Mate, he needs to be regarded as one of the PFA Players of the Year. As one of.
But he'd win if it was Captain of the Year award. And I mean, I'd give it to him. But Player of the Year, you're telling me that Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson haven't been better players this year?
No, they have. But what I'm going to say is, Gerrard was Liverpool's greatest player for the last fuck knows how many years, yeah? Right? He hasn't done what Henderson's done. And that's a bold statement to make because Gerrard is 10 times the player that Henderson is. You could easily give the Liverpool captaincy to one of two. You could give it to Van Dijk. Van Dijk is the Dutch captain. He's a fucking leader. He's a baller. He's everything. Do you get what I mean? Mr. Steal Your Girl, you'll probably let your missus sleep with him, bro. But what Henderson has done, you can't just put it under the fucking thingy and just say he's a side-to-side player, which he is, don't get me wrong. But as a captain, bro, that's big, man. As a captain, that's big. Like, Harry's a good example for Friday Night Football. We can all relate to this, yeah? He might not be the quickest like he used to be back in the days. He might not be the best. Well, he still probably is in the air. He might still foul Hammy and Hammy might bitch at him. But he's still a fucking captain, innit? You'd still put him as your captain day and night. And that's the point that I'm trying to make.
After seeing his toes, I'm not too sure about that, yo.
Klopp could have given it to Van Dijk, but Henderson's still there. So all I'm trying to say is he Liverpool's best player this season? No. But should he be regarded as PFA of the Year? 1,000,000%, yeah. Don't just give it to KDB because he's talented. He ain't done fuck all this season. Man City haven't done fuck all. If City win the Champions League, give it to KDB. But if they don't win the Champions League, he's just done what he's done every single year for the last how many years. He's assisted and he scored goals. And he's playing in a world-class team. He's playing in a world-class team. Henderson's midfield partners are not City's midfield partners, bro. Night and day difference.
Let's move on then, because there's a lot of discussion about who these best players could be. I think we've got a few more games to go in the season. I think Cully's got a really good point there. If KDB wins the Champions League, that might change the environment here. But I want to go on to picking our Hit the Bar Premier League 11. Now, the rules for this were, this Liverpool team is doing amazing things, but we wanted to try and think of that in context to, against the Arsenal Invincibles team, the City team that won with 100 points a couple of seasons ago, and the Man United treble-winning team. And from those 4 sides, picking our best Premier League 11. Now, the way this works is obviously everyone's going to have their say, and it is a majority rules situation. So if we get an agreement, then that's the pick that gets. If we're struggling to get an agreement and we need a casting vote, then I'll make the casting vote. But let's start with the goalkeeper, of course. Position number 1, Premier League 11 based on those 4 teams. Hammy, who you got in net?
Michael. I don't think you can argue with that in terms of what he did for the 9-10 seasons that he was at United. As a Leeds fan, growing up watching Schmeichel in there and like don that position, coming into the into Champions League '99, what he did that season, '98-'99 season. I can't remember another goalkeeper with his. You've either got him or you got Petr Cech, and I think for me it'll be Schmeichel, to be honest with you.
Anyone disagreeing with that?
I do. Did Schmeichel ever win Keeper of the Year or whatever the award is?
He won Player of the Season, couldn't he?
Yeah, but did he ever win Keeper of the Year? Was he ever in that starting 11, European or otherwise?
But if you win Player of the
Alisson
Season...
Alisson is.
Oh, nah, that's a wrong argument for me. If you
Alisson
win Player
is.
of the Season, that has more weight than winning Goalkeeper of the Year.
Let me tell you something about Schmeichel, Cully. Schmeichel had a kid who then grew up.
Was it yours?
Who then won the league.
Was it yours?
Before Liverpool won the league. So Schmeichel's in there for me.
Yeah, I think that's the
based on his offspring.
Based on his offspring. No,
I heard Schmeichel was a fucking Freemason, mate.
You've got to remember, keeper styles have changed a lot now. Best keeper, you're playing with your feet a lot more. This and that, they've changed a lot. They're sort of like an outfield player now. But Schmeichel, is up there for me. And that's, above Lehmann, above Alisson. It was very close for me between Alisson and Schmeichel.
So we've got four votes for Schmeichel. And so he's got to go in. He's got to go in. Before we go to outfield players, here's a quick shout. What formation are we playing here?
Good,
4-4-2 or 4-3-3?
I think hands up for 4-3-3.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not really fussed. I think 4-4-2 is all right as well, but yeah, 4-4-2.
Because you're a Leeds fan, bro.
We've got a majority with 4-3-3, so let's start left back. We've got some good left backs in that team, but is Ashley Cole the one that everyone's going to be going for here?
Come on,
I think so.
It has to be. Has to be.
There's no one. Only because
I'm waiting for Manny to say Luke Shaw.
Owen was Mr. Consistent, but Ashley Cole.
But I think Ashley Cole's on a different level. I think looking back at one of the great English players over the last,
underrated in his time, I think, as well.
You see Ashley Cole and you see him go up against some class right wingers and handle them, and I think that just goes to show how good
the way he handled Ronaldo was.
That's my point. I think Ronaldo even said it. He goes, he hated playing against Ashley Cole, hated it, and and this is coming once again. The amount of hate I have for Ashley Cole is probably on par with the amount of hate I've got for Van Persie. Cashley Cole is what we call him at Arsenal. But yeah, Ashley Cole's up there. He's got to be, if not one of the best left backs to ever grace the Premier League.
I completely agree. Right, so we've got Schmeichel in net, Ashley Cole left back. It's going to start getting heated now because I think those were two kind of safe picks there. I think now we're talking about centre backs, right back, midfield, attack. It's going to get interesting.
I'm just going to sorry, Mark. I'm just going to throw something out there. Does everyone have Van Dijk in their team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many's got Van Dijk?
Does Manny have Van Dijk?
Oh no, I've not put Van Dijk in.
I've got Van Dijk. I've got Van Dijk in my team.
Harbour, have you got Van Dijk?
Yeah, I've got Van Dijk.
How many have you got Van Dijk?
Van Dijk, yeah.
There you go.
We got Van Dijk as centre back number one.
Manny, how can you not have Van Dijk in that team?
Put the spotlight on Manny. Manny, how have you not got Van Dijk?
Right, so it was between Sol Campbell and Van Dijk for me. Yeah.
Fuck me.
Sol Campbell and Van Dijk.
Put Sol Campbell in there for fuck's sake. What are you doing, mate?
Sol Campbell on his day when he wanted.
Sol Campbell and Van Dijk.
No. Sol Campbell on his day.
My life.
No, nobody was going.
No wonder you get so much abuse.
He just had too many injuries, but on his day, I'd have him over Van Dijk.
Have you just typed centre back into Google and gone with the first name that came up?
I mean, I can't believe that. I can't believe Sol Campbell over Van Dijk. Swear down.
That's what it is.
Sol Campbell wasn't in my top 5.
Yeah, Sol Campbell had a good career at Arsenal, and he had a good. And we have to remember what we're talking about here is that one particular season, the '99 season, the invincible season, City's 100-point season, and this season. Manny, you've already stirred up some shit there. So who's your second centre back?
Sorry, just on that point, can we just ask the Arsenal fan, Sol Campbell or Van Dijk, being an Arsenal fan?
Van Dijk.
Boom. Manny, carry on.
Second centre back, Manny. Who's Van Dijk's partner in this?
I've gone with Jaap Stam. I just don't think you can look any further.
Where's Company in this? Because we've got
Company's in mine.
Company's in mine.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking at a single season Company, he carries that team, and you can see as soon as he
captain of the
Premier
League era.
Yeah, as soon as Company left, look now. So I
think. I mean, for me personally, Mac, it was between Stam and Company. Company would be in for me, and funny enough, he would also be my captain of this team as well. Right. Unreal, and like I said, in that season, I think Harvard just touched upon it just now. Is look at them without him, and look at the players that he had around him. Yeah, but when he didn't play, it was like they were missing a leg. It was unreal. But yeah, Company and Van Dijk. Imagine if them two played together in the Premier League. Colossal.
He scored him the fucking goal that won him the league against Leicester.
What a goal!
And I think you have to remember, he wasn't playing with a Ferdinand or a Vidic. He was playing with Otamendi. Honestly, he averages. He's a 5 out of 10 most.
So we're saying Otamendi's not making his team then.
Otamendi makes the worst 11.
Oh, what a boy!
So we've got consensus here for Schmeichel, goalkeeper, left back Ashley Cole, Virgil van Dijk, partnered by Vincent Kompany. That already looks like an incredibly strong defence. But who's the guy on the right? Hammy?
Can I say something here?
Yeah.
Trent is the right back. What he is in this day and age as a player, if any Man United team, the 99 team, the Arsenal Invincibles team, the fucking Leeds 94, 96, 92 team, whatever it was, there's no player, I don't think any of us have seen an English talent like fucking Trent. None of us have. He could play midfield.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with Trent.
It has to be Trent.
Shock, fucking horror.
Phil Foden and Trent right now make the future for England look very, very bright.
Yeah.
I disagree with Trent being in the team.
Who have you got in the team?
I've gone with Gary Neville.
Shut the fuck! Shut up, man! Harvard, don't even know.
Let me get my logic. Let me get my logic, though, Cully. So when I'm looking at the team, right? So I'm looking at the team. I don't need a right back that's going to get me 40 assists. I need a right back that's going to defend, because most likely in front of him, you're going to have an unreal player. So when I looked at the team, I'm putting Gary Neville in.
So you put Gary Neville in there for balance rather than for being the best right back.
He's not the best footballer. He's not the best.
No, but rather than being the best right back that are available, you put him in there for balance.
If I'm picking a team and I need the team to play and win a game, I put Gary Neville.
That's fine. I mean, I'm all attacking in my team, not giving a shit. So Trent's in it for me.
Yeah.
Manny, have you got Gary Neville in your team?
Of course he has. What kind of daft questions is that?
I've got Gary Neville.
He's probably got Gary
Neville. I've got Gary Neville.
From Manny. So really, it comes down to, Hammy, you look like you're going to split the vote here. We've got Smiley and Cully who say Trent. We've got Harver, who admittedly says Gary Neville's not the best right back. We've got Manny, who the militant Man United fan who would only choose Gary Neville in this. So where does it fall for you?
I understand where Harver's coming from, where he's coming from with Gary Neville, but my gut instinct and the way that he plays football and the age that he is and what we've seen him do, it's got to be Trent on it. In terms of that, it's an unbelievable talent.
Manny.
You put Gary Neville against Trent, and Trent's wiping the floor with Neville. And I understand what Harver said, but I think Trent for me.
Let's just get Manny's take on it. Manny, sorry, go on. What were you going to say about fucking the greatest player of all time, Gary Neville?
No, I'm agreeing with Harver on this. Trent as a right back going forward. Yeah, look, you can't beat him. But then if you Neville had Beckham in front of him, and it was very rare that he'd go past Beckham. But when he did, he'd put in just as good a ball as what Trent would do now. Yeah.
Gary Neville put a ball in like Trent.
Beckham
or Gary Neville.
Yeah, Beckham does.
Yeah,
He's talking about Gary Neville.
Wait, hold on. Let's clear this. Is that Gary Neville puts in the ball as good as Trent?
Oh, he's on his second thought. He's on his second thought.
Gary Neville.
No.
Gary Neville was a good crosser of the ball.
Oh my fucking God, man! Your credibility has gone from fucking -3 to fucking -15.
Just to clear it up, I put Gary Neville in to defend. I'm just saying, right? Don't expect Gary Neville to put in no fucking.
To pick balls into the ball.
Get another drink, man. You need a drink, bro.
We've got two United fans here. Harvey, who's saying Gary Neville's not the best player, but obviously picking for his defensive capabilities. But Manny thinks that Gary Neville's delivery and distribution and free kick ability is as good as Trent Alexander Arnold.
He's not got shit. He's not shit. I mean,
you might as well put Neville in there and Phil Neville in there as well. Then. I put the sister in there as well. Then
I think Dennis Irvin would have been a better right back than Gary Neville if he played there for us. I'm being fully serious.
I think at the end of the day, I think Gary Neville was a workhorse, and he did. He reminds me of Aspilicueta. You don't get less than a 7 out of 10 from a Gary Neville. But to put him in there to balance the team, I get that. But to put him in there because he's the best right back on show, I think is ridiculous.
I think looking, I just want to, my job's to stay neutral in this, but Manny, you've come out with an absolute belter there. I just don't see Gary Neville putting in that cross that Trent did for Origi in the Champions League. Against
when
Barcelona.
Did he fucking put a cross in?
So I have to kind of move on quickly from that, Manny, just to say midfield trio now. So we're going to move into midfield, which is again going to be some real contenders here. We've got your Vieiras, Kevin De Bruyne's. You've got the guys at Liverpool at the moment. You've got your Beckham, Scholes, Keane. Let's start centre of that trio. We're playing a 4-3-3. Where are we at, Smiley?
This is going to cause some shit now, For me,
he's going to say Gilberto Silva.
No, I won't pick Gilberto. What a fucking player Gilberto was. Unsung hero, if anything. But for me, in that middle, Scholes probably.
I'm shocked. I was waiting for the V word from you.
Yeah. It was a toss up between Vieira and Scholes, but yeah, for me it was Scholes. Like I said, my team's going to be the most attacking team you're going to see. I've got Van Dijk and company at the back sweeping up absolutely every inch of blade of grass you can see. But yeah, it's Scholes for me as the whole in there.
Cully, where you at centre midfield?
I can't believe I'm saying this. Roy Keane.
Roy Keane.
And I'll tell you why. If you want a secondary captain, there's no bunda like Roy Keane. Yeah?
No, yeah.
It was between him and Vieira. I'm going to be completely honest with you, right? Because Vieira was obviously fucking world class at what he did. But what Roy Keane did, yeah, and I know he wasn't the most talented player, yeah, but he was your dog, man. He was that workhorse in midfield who was fucking breaking everything up. And as a secondary captain, I think fucking if him and fucking Company were in the same team, Company would shit himself.
Yeah.
So for me, I would have put Scholes. I'm arguing the fact that I can't put Gerrard in because he's not in his present team. But that's a different conversation for another time. But Scholes for me is part of the three, either as a 6 or an 8. But my holding is Keane. And I fucking regret saying it because Manny's going to talk some shit now.
You have Scholes in your team, Cully?
Yeah,
Let me get back to that, innit? Let me get back to that point. We've got 2 United picks already, which I'm actually surprised about from Smiley picking Scholes over Vieira and Cully picking Keane over Vieira as well, actually. But where are you? So we'll come to the United fans last because I'm sure they've both got United players in that centre role.
For me,
I've actually gone with Vieira in that hole.
Wow. Go. Can I change mine now, yo?
I'm just going to throw it in there that I've got Vieira as well.
Wow.
Wow. I'm shocked. Who have you got?
I was with Scholes because Scholes, in terms of our generation or one of the greatest midfielders, he's got plaudits from Zidane, Iniesta, Xavi, people like that have been saying that Scholes is one of the greatest players they've ever seen play. And for us to turn around and say that Vieira, I don't know, Scholes, Premier League era, you can't see a better player in that position than Scholes.
I've got Scholes in my number 6. So I've got.
I was going to ask Mac, is this defensive holding midfield? What is this role here?
Central of the three. So it's how you want to play it. If you want to go,
it can't be Scholes, man. Scholes is either on the either side. It can't be Scholes.
So it comes down to we've got two for Scholes, which is Smiley and Hammy. We've got 2 for Vieira and 1 Hammy for Cully. Sorry, for Roy Keane. So
I wish I never said that.
I've got Scholes.
I'm kind of regretting saying Scholes now.
I've got to put the casting vote in then, so because we're split. So for me, central of that 3, it has to be Vieira. For me, it has to be Vieira of those 2. And the reason
in that
role, I'm not denying Scholes is distribution and passing ability is up there with everybody else's. But I just think if you're looking at Van Dijk and company behind a central player and having a really strong spine, someone who can get you goals, someone who will battle like crazy for you, it's got to be Vieira for me. So my vote goes for Vieira.
I'm just surprised Cully didn't say Henderson, to be perfectly honest with you.
You never know. He might put Hendo number 9.
That's true. There's still other positions.
I'm surprised Manny and said Luke Chadwick. Same distribution.
Matt, can I just ask a question? Yeah. If Gerrard was part of it, Scholes or Gerrard?
Gerrard. For me, Gerrard.
Scholes.
For me, Gerrard.
Scholes for me.
Manny
for me. Manny?
Gerrard for me, because Gerrard. What he did, I think Gerrard was, looking back on it, what I used to think as a top player in terms of it, Gerrard always used to scream out into some of the stuff that he did.
The argument to me comes down to Gerrard, and Man United fans might correct me here, but for me, Gerrard's one of those players where if you're in the shit, he will drag you out single-handedly and win a game. Yeah. I can't remember many times where Scholes did that for United. I can't remember a time where consistently in a Champions League final, in a crucial game, that Gerrard just went, right, this is my team. I'm going to put every single average player around me on my back and win you the game now.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, Mark, it comes down to who do you pick. For me, it's a different argument. For me, if you want to pick a player to win you a game, so if I'm picking a player for one match, I pick Gerrard every day of the week. Out of them two, if I'm picking a player for a season, I go Scholes, consistency. So but I think Gerrard and Lampard, I think Scholes plays.
When did Gerrard have a bad game? If you're saying consistency, when did Gerrard have a bad game? It wasn't just the Champions League. Gerrard won Liverpool the end.
Have a say it. Go, please say it.
Don't say the fucking shit. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I knew it. It was on the edge of my lips as well. I was going to say, Cully, do you not remember that time when Gerrard slipped?
Right. Let's stick to this 11 that we've got. So we've got that's solid so far. So who plays on left and right for Vieira? And the way we'll do this is, if we're talking about Scholes, it could be left, it could be right side, but who are the 2? Let's get the 2 that play next to Vieira. Cully, let's start with you.
So for me, I've put David Silva. All right, sorry.
I'm not going to lie, I've not done this fucking 11 in it, so I was waiting for everyone else to say the player. No lie, swear down. I'm actually writing it as I'm going along here.
Let's go to you, Smiley, then let's go to you. You were mentioning David Silva. Which is
David Silva.
Yeah.
David Silva's up there for me. Yeah. It's such a shame that he's going to be retiring at the end of this season. I think he's... I don't even have words to describe him. Magician in the middle, got all your creativity. And if he is somebody that would be able to link your midfield to your strikers with ease. So David Silva's in that for me.
We've got David Silva then. Is that a fair shout?
Fair.
Silva, second position in midfield.
I got Scholes in my other one.
That's Scholes. 2 Scholesies.
I'm going to say Henderson.
No.
If we're talking about Man City's last year team, how can you have Scholes ahead of KDB? So I'm saying KDB.
We haven't heard the KDB name being mentioned.
KDB is my other player.
Right. KDB.
Right. So KDB is my other player. 2 for KDB. Hammy, again, it comes down to you, unless you've got your own choice.
No, I've got to say KDB in this, because KDB, what he did in that season.
You said Scholes 5 minutes ago. Right, he's gone off.
He's gone. Oh, shit.
He's not paid his fucking Wi-Fi bill, has he?
We'll have to go with KDB because that's the answer he gave. And if he comes back, we'll
come on, Matt. You can't. You only said KDB because Cully said it. Yeah.
He said
He fucking said KDB is 3-2. Matt, who would you have scored?
I would have KDB.
There you go. 4-2, man. Go fuck yourself.
I think, and the reason why is I think if you've got David Silva in your team, you don't need Scholes as well. I think you do need Kevin De Bruyne. I think you do it because he brings something different. So Hammy's decided to go to his kids' party where I don't know if he's going to be the clown there today or whatever. But but let's get to the front three then. It's 2-on-2 now in terms of you guys battling it out. But let's go right, person. Let's go right.
Let's go right. It's Mohamed Salah for me.
Oh,
lad.
Cully, I'm assuming you're agreeing with that one.
I am 1,000,000% agreeing with Salah. Given what he's done at 3 years at Liverpool, and he was a reject at Chelsea. Yeah. He went to Italy, played in a nothing league, came to the Premiership, scored a stupid amount of goals. He's the record scorer in like 100 games for Liverpool, beating your Torreses, beating your Suarezes. He's fucking world class, mate. On that right hand side, I've got Salah.
Manny?
Yep. Gary Neville.
He can cross on both positions.
Yeah, you have to put Neville there. No, it has to be Beckham. Yeah, literally did it at United. Did it at Real Madrid.
Has to be who?
Did it wherever.
Beckham.
Has to be Beckham. Yeah.
Up front, on the right.
On the right, yeah. World player.
He didn't score your goals, man, from open play.
And European player of the runner-up in both European and
not a bad shout.
Yeah, that's not going to come close.
It's not a bad shout. I mean, it was. I think Freddie Ljungberg and.
Ljungberg?
I think Freddie Ljungberg was one of the ones where you've got to compare him. Yeah, he was good, workhorse. Yeah, got your goals.
Where did Perez play?
Perez, I put Perez on the left. Yeah, I put Perez on the left.
Who have you got on the right hand side of your front three?
I put Perez, but I'll switch him over. So for the right, I'd go. Oh shit! I just figured out how many strikers I put in my team, and now there's only one.
Do you know how many people play in a football team, yo?
It should have been a 4-4-2.
Yeah. Oh, he is a Man United fan. Give him a break, man.
just for Cully's comment, I'm going with Beckham.
Well, I've got to put the vote in here, and I just can't put Beckham in a front three. I'd have put him in midfield. There's an argument for a midfield right side player. I think there's an argument for Beckham there. If you're looking for your front three needing to score you 20 goals a season from each of them, then you can't compare Salah and Beckham for attacking capability. So Mo Salah has to go on the right hand side. So moving into the middle, then let's go right to left. So central player. Against Smiley, I gave you the big talk up here. I'm sure you're going to say the big Frenchman.
Let me tell you something. If anybody else has got another player other than Henry, we are going to have some.
So you don't think?
I put Henry on the left.
I
put Henry on the left because I've got a better striker in the middle.
Okay.
FYI.
All right. Okay. Fair dude. But if you've not got Henry in your team at all, right? For me, like Henry is up there.
Has everyone got Henry in their front three in some position?
Yeah, I've moved him to the left.
Yeah.
How many have you got Henry in your front three?
I had a 4-4-2, didn't I? So I had Henry and Dwight York up there.
Okay, right. So everyone's got Henry. So Henry's a lock. Whether he plays central, whether he plays left, again, Henry is good enough. So we come to the final position. And Cully, I'll start with you for this because, but I want to just say I'm really surprised that Aguero hasn't been mentioned yet.
He's in my team. Yeah, he's in my team.
Yeah.
So for me, it goes Henry left because he did start off as a winger and he can play that position as a 3, not an out-and-out winger, but as a 3. And then you got Aguero in the middle, bro. It has to be Henry, Aguero, and Salah, 100%.
Smiley.
Yeah, I mean, I put Perez on the left. Other than
that's a shot.
Yeah, I put Perez there, Mr. Fantastico over there. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Aguero is like I said, Aguero for me is one of the best strikers in the world as well. But he couldn't get in there in front of Henry for me.
I got Henry on the left, so Aguero takes the centre for me. I don't think if you got Henry on the left, I don't think another striker.
I think he's the greatest number 9 the Premier League's probably fucking seen. Like, if you talk about his shares and stuff like that, bro. Sergio Aguero is different gravy, man.
He didn't enjoy playing on the left. Even when he went to Barca, if you look at any documentary, he really didn't enjoy playing on that left. Even though, that's where he started, didn't enjoy it. Most of his prolific goals. Although, weird enough, as he played as a centre forward, most of the goals you see is he does come drift up on the left. But he didn't like playing on the left when he was at Barca or when he first started his Arsenal career.
I had to find room for Aguero. I couldn't leave Aguero out of it because
I think Manny's
left Aguero out. You had York.
Manny had York.
Just because I think they play better together. Yeah. I think you've got to go with Henry or Aguero. You can't. You won't have them.
Yeah. So is that it? We're gonna do Henry left, Aguero up front. I'm happy with that.
Can I just say something, Matt? Can I just say something? This is for the Man United fans, i.e. Manny. There's 3 Liverpool players in that team. There's 1 Man United player, and that's your fucking keeper you sell out.
Let's just remember, you've got Hammy on this call, who basically is a Liverpool fan.
Don't. We had a Leeds talk on, bro.
We have got 2 United fans here, and I was actually surprised that there's not a United outfield player in that starting 11. But you can't deny that 11 is super, super strong, and that I think it's hard to make an argument for someone not for getting in there. So when you look at it, it's a quality 11. I think that team takes some beating. I think even putting that, it'll be interesting when we do the actual all-time Premier League 11 from any team, any era, how that competes and whether we think that this team would still be stronger.
I think you've got a couple of teams, haven't you, like Chelsea 04, Mourinho when he bought those. And you've got United 08, which I think is probably, in my opinion, better than 99.
We're missing the likes of throwing Ronaldo into that mix, Drogba into that mix, Hazard, those kind of players. So next time we do this, we'll do
Firmino.
We'll do the 11.
You've got the most decorated player in the Premier League missing, and that's Ryan Giggs. Yeah, no one. Why would Ryan?
That's very true. That's very true.
If it was 4-4-2, I'd have Giggs on Beckham.
I'd have Perez.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you're talking about balance of a team, you don't want someone in that team that's going to be shagging your missus. So that for me,
your brother's missus. Your brother's missus.
Sorry, yeah.
So that means no Ryan Giggs.
So for me, no Ryan Giggs. I mean,
John Terry's finished.
I mean, Cully talks about that mentality. I mean, I think every other player would be on edge if Ryan Giggs was in that team,
apart from Mane.
It's 4-4-2 to 4-3-3. Yeah, so the thing is that team's based on a 4-3-3 formation.
Yeah.
So in essence, you the United team of '99 was a team that was a 4-4-2 team.
Yeah. So majority of the time Arsenal was as well. Arsenal was a 4-4-2 sort of with the Bergkamp.
That team won all the trophies with a 4-4-2. Yeah, obviously modern football's different now. It's a 4-3-3 formation. So
Pep's caused that modern change at Barcelona. He's the one who started doing the 4-3-3 thing, and then it's bought up here, and like Liverpool are doing it. I'm telling you, technically, United do it now. United play 4-3-3.
Yeah, we've been playing for a couple of years now.
Exactly. Premier League, because he started winning trophies with just Drogba up top, didn't it? Yeah.
I think when you do the all-time 11, I think you'll see more United.
I think so too. So let's move on to the last couple of sections of the show. So gonna shout out a game that's coming up next week, and just give me the score that you think it'll be. So the way that it works is 3 points for the correct score, 1 point for the correct result, which automatically leaves Hammy in the relegation zone right now. So he's got a lot of catching up to do in this league table. Start with you, Cully. Brighton versus Liverpool.
Brighton. Yeah. Liverpool are going to walk that. Klopp's obviously given Dundar to the fucking players. He's going to say to them, fix up. I can see Liverpool fucking walking that, man. 2-3, 4-5-0, whatever you want.
Let's go for 3 then. Let's say Cully says 3-0. Smiley. I think there's a game before that for Liverpool, but it's one of the midweek games anyway. So Brighton versus Liverpool for you. What score are we saying?
You're talking probably 4-0 here for me. I think Liverpool will have their tails up now. I think they've had are talking from Klopp, and I think they will go and destroy him. And Brighton, after losing to Man United as well, I think they'll just plummet down.
It's Villa, by the way, before Brighton.
Yeah, Liverpool got a home game against Villa before the Brighton game, but we're picking the Brighton game as a prediction.
We're going to beat Villa anyway.
Liverpool have not scored an away goal in the past 5 games, though.
Here we go.
But yeah, I've got them to bag it anyway. So I've got them.
You got 4-0.
I've got them to make up for it with a 4-0.
I've gone 4-0 as well.
And Manny?
Gone 2-1 Brighton.
Go on, Manny.
The second game we've got for the prediction is the North London derby. Arsenal Tottenham at home against Arsenal coming up. That's going to be a huge game. I think Mourinho really, really badly needs a result. Smiley, what's your prediction for that game?
2-1 Arsenal for me. 2-1 Arsenal. Aubameyang getting a brace there. It's a 2-1 for me.
And Cully?
If I'm being honest, I think Mourinho's fucking washed, man. But Manny still thinks he's the greatest manager that's ever lived. But for me, I think Arsenal will beat him. I think it'll be a 2-2 or a shitty little 1-0. That's what I genuinely think. But I think
just point someone out. Cully just said, I think Arsenal will beat him. I think it'll be 2-2.
I said I think it'll be either a 2-2 or it'll be like a 1-0. But I do think Arsenal will win. Don't make me sound like Manny on this podcast. There's only
one soundbite that's going on Instagram after this, and that's Manny saying Gary Neville's got the same distribution as Trent.
Fucking hell. Even Gary Neville's going to tweet Manny saying that you fucking
make sure you tweet Gary Neville in it.
I will. I'm sure the Neville family will get a lot of love from those guys for that. But Manny, Tottenham Arsenal, what's your prediction for that game?
I think it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. And Harvey?
I've gone 1-1 as well. I think Mourinho is just going to dead out the game.
Yeah, I think that's
like you did for Man United, but carry on.
We finished second. I won a couple of trophies. Give him some
I forgot you won a trophy for second place, bro. Chal Hojan Dine.
We won the Europa League. We were as a fantastic
BTEC League.
Don't forget. You won the Community Shield.
Don't forget that. By the way, Mac, just FYI, Liverpool 48 major trophies, Man United 45. Greatest team. Just saying.
How are Liverpool talking after 30 years?
Just saying.
Do you know how many new Liverpool fans I've uncovered in this last couple of weeks? Randomly posting on Instagram, and you think, hey, you're not a Liverpool fan.
They're all on Great Orton Road. They all come out the woodwork.
Shabby for PM.
Yeah, they're all, what do you call it? They're all about 50, 60 years old. I've just seen them all walking across the road.
You look 60 yourself. Who the fuck are you?
There's United have got Villa away. That's one of the other midweek games that's coming up. I'm starting with you.
United. I've got United to take it 2-0.
Manny?
No, I'm going 2-0.
2-0. And Smiley?
I've got this as a 1-1. I think Villa need a result to get out of that relegation. It's going to be a good game because potentially looking at Grealish potentially going to Man United, so this could be his time to shine for the scouts. So yeah, I think we'll have a potentially a Grealish masterclass.
Hopefully, no. You already bagged one against us.
Yeah, that's why I say it.
Cully?
I think it's going to be 1-0 Villa.
1-0 to Villa.
If anybody wants to place a separate side bet after this call, hit me up WhatsApp. I think it's going to be 1-0 Villa. I think Man United are going to struggle just because Villa are fighting for their lives. That's why I think.
They do. Villa need a result desperately at the moment.
What do you think, Matt? What do you think?
I think that Villa are going to give United a really good game. I feel like there's a draw here for me. I think the scrap that Villa will put in, the fight that they'll put in, I think Grealish is a top quality player and can make things happen. So I feel that the desperation that Villa find themselves in at the moment means that they'll pull out they'll get a result. I think that I think 1-1 for me. Liverpool beat Brighton. I'd say 3-0. I think Tottenham Arsenal. I think Arsenal sneak that one. I'm going to put 1-0 down to the Arsenal, and I think Man United Villa 1-1. The last game that I want to put in here is just a kind of bit of a random game because we've got the games in there that everyone supports here. But Sheffield United are playing Wolves in the midweek, and I think that's got the hallmarks of a good game here. We've got two sides who are still chasing for something, and two sides who have really done well this season. Manny, first with you. Sheffield United at home against Wolves. What's your prediction?
Going 1-0 Wolves.
1-0 to the Wolves. Cully?
I think Wolves will win that game. I'd probably go 1 or 2-0, to be honest.
Okay, I'll put you down as 2-0. Harvey?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Sheffield United.
2-1.
I think they'll put up a fight, and they've been poor since it's come back in, except when they beat Tottenham, so they'll be on the up.
And Smiley?
Yeah, I think just emulating once again what Harvard says is I think with their win finally after the break with Tottenham, I think they'll become the team that we saw before COVID. And plus, just to piss Harry off, I'm just going to go 2-1 Sheffield United. I'm
gonna follow suit there. I think that Sheffield United was so unlucky straight after the break, and they managed to find a result which I think they deserved. I think that was really unfortunate that they didn't get that result in the first place. So Sheffield United 2-1 for me, but Wolves are having a super season.
Yeah.
So like I say,
I hope Harry kicks you all out of the group, man. Fuck yeah.
So like I say, final section of the game is the Man of the Match award, sponsored by FNF, and the worst performance of the award as well. So when it comes to Man of the Match, that's something that I give out today. And for me today, Man of the Match award is going to go to, I'm going to give it to Smiley this week. And the reason why I feel like he's come up with some balanced ideas here, I think Smiley for this week is the Man of the Match for Hit the Bar. That result doesn't come with any prize, but the worst performance of the world of the day award does come with a forfeit. The way this works is if the panel gets to vote on who they think has made the worst performance here today. So I'd ask everyone to write the name of the person who has the worst performance down, and we're going to reveal it. The loser will have to do a forfeit, and it will be revealed midweek what that forfeit will be, and then next week they'll have to turn up doing the forfeit. The forfeit will be decided by the guys who pick the loser. So when everyone's ready, on the count of 3, we'll reveal the name of the worst performance award for Hit the Bar. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, reveal your name. Smiley.
Wait, I don't think you can see it. It's supposed to say money.
It's money. I don't think even you could argue with that today, money.
I think, Mark. I think after that statement, that is funny. This is gonna work out. You've got to watch what you say, guys, because that one little statement will have you being the worst man of the. You said it first. Worst man of the world.
I think in my mind I knew it was that bad.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for that one statement, Manny, I would have gone hammy because
I would have gone hammy as well.
He's not been here. Yeah. I just know that for the next 2 weeks, all we've seen on the group chats is Gary Neville.
Manny's lucky that we're not putting WhatsApp messages up. It could be a lot worse.
So that means Harvey, Cully, Smiley, you need to pick a forfeit for Manny for next week. So in the midweek, that's what your task will be. And we look forward to seeing what that forfeit is, Manny. I think next time when it comes to picking an 11, I think leave the G Neville name off that list.
Matt, can I just ask, does he have to do it regardless, whatever we say?
You have to do it regardless.
We'll have to do it.
If you don't do it, you get kicked off being a panellist. So,
well, then I'm going to lend him my Liverpool top, washed, ironed, cleaned, dry cleaned, and he can wear it, because if he can do anything, bro.
Yeah.
That's the forfeit for the first couple of weeks, isn't it? If you have and Smile.
Cheers, money. Cheers, money.
Manny, don't worry. I'll nice you. I'll say someone buy you a drink for a forfeit. Don't worry.
Guys,
need one.
It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to speaking to you next week.
See you later, boys.
See you next week. We'll see you next week.